Well, hey friends, a happy Saturday. I hope that your weekend is off to a good start. I'm here with Home Fragrance Empties for the last week. I have some Scentsy, I have some Lavender wax, kind of a hodgepodge of stuff this week. So let's jump in. I'll start with Scentsy. I have one non-wax item. I finished off a counter clean in ocean, air, and coconut water. I love Scentsy's counter clean. I've talked about it for years on my channel. I have quite a back stock. If you've seen my back stock of counter clean, I probably have, 15 counter cleans or so. I have more than enough to get me through a few years, but I use these on not only my kitchen counters, but I use these occasionally when I like dust, or if I have a spot in the carpet or a spot on the seats in my car. Just, it kind of for me is a multi-purpose spray. I hear that it's not good on granite. I don't have granite, so I can't attest to that, but I love the counter cleans, and this was a great summery scent. Yeah, I don't have any more of this particular scent, but right now I'm using Pink Sunshine. It was a counter clean that they had in the clearance section or in a flash sale or something one time, and whenever they have a counter clean that is discounted that I have not tried, I always try to pick it up because I love the counter clean. That is a product from Scentsy I really, really enjoy. So definitely enjoyed that. Then I have 8 bars of wax here. Let's start first with this combo. I mixed a bar of Happy Birthday and a bar of Oodles of Orange. So both of these I got in the Volt release. I did a video on that haul, so I'll link it if you're curious. Happy Birthday is a bar that I have enjoyed for many years. It has notes of sugar, whipped cream, and vanilla. Although you kind of get a little bit of a chocolate note or maybe like a marble cake note, but it is a very heavy cake vanilla bakery scent. I really enjoy this one. For me, I get decent performance from it, so I was happy to pick up a few bars. But then I had got a bar of Oodles of Orange, and I mentioned in my haul video that I picked this one up because I have heard Sean Roberry loving this scent for, years and years and years. And I'm not really an orange person, but while I was doing the Vault, one and done club, I decided to throw one in just so I could kind of see what it was about. And it is a very bright citrus heavy orange. Not my favorite. However, I blended these two so that I could do a little bit more of a creamsicle or just add some vanilla to this, and I actually really enjoyed the day. I put this in my open concept. You could smell the Happy Birthday. I was a little bit worried that the Oodles of Orange would take over because it is so strong. And Happy Birthday, while it performs for me, it's a little bit on the lighter side, but I was able to smell this really well. If I did it again, I might add like a little more vanilla, like maybe an extra couple of cubes or so, but great combination. Loved that good like creamsicle scent, which is perfect for the summertime. And this one's actually an empty from my dad. This is not from me. Natalie gifted both my dad and myself a bar of cucumber lime, and I've already melted mine. I absolutely loved it. But he melted this and gave it back to me for my empties. You can see Natalie's scent notes in here. Ripe cucumbers, tangy limes, greens, and leafy mint. This is gorgeous. This is such a nice, fresh, watery cucumber scent. It's a little bit herbaceous. It's very crisp and clean. Such a pretty bar. So I asked my dad what he thought of it because I loved this. I thought it was so pretty, the bar that I melted. And he said he really liked it. And he said, you know me, I love the citrusy scents. So this was a winner for my dad. And thank you, Nat, for sending us those bars. Then I went through a bar of glacier water. So I picked this up in the clearance section not too long ago. I really enjoy this scent. I have one more of it. It is a really nice, clean, masculine, aquatic body wash. It Definitely leans masculine to me, but not so much in a cologne way, more in just like an aquatic body wash. It is so pretty. I wish I would have picked up more bars than I did. I only grabbed 2 because I'm trying to be good. I'm trying not to overbuy any one scent, but I love this every time I warm it. It is such a stunning aquatic scent. So hopefully that comes back again. And I mean, it has. I've seen glacier water come back many different times over the years, so I'm sure it will come back, but love that bar. Then I melted one of my favorites. This is Here Comes the Sunflowers. This is also one that I just picked up in the Vault release that they did. This is one of my favorite florals that Scentsy has ever done. And it was so funny. It was right when it got discontinued from the catalog. But to me, this is a very warm floral note. It does have some strawberry notes to this bar as well. I don't know if I pick up a ton of strawberry per se, but I do get a sweetness to this bar. When I did this haul, somebody asked in the comments if it's similar to Scarlet Sunflower, and I would say no. Scarlet Sunflower is, to me, a very fruity bar. The fruit is kind of your prevalent note. This is more floral, but it really is like warm from the sun floral. It kind of reminds me a little bit of sun-drenched cotton. Not that it's in a laundry way at all, but sun-drenched cotton to me has this warm quality to it that I get from this bar. So if you like that type of scent, but you like florals, it's so, so pretty. And why I like this so much is the floral is not cloying, it's not headache inducing. Perfect summer scent, perfect early fall scent, you know, when the sunflowers are all bloomed. Then maybe I'll save this one. I'm going to save this one. I'm going to backtrack. I'm going to save this one for the end because I paired it with a Lavender wax. So let me do these first. White Oak Woodland. Melting this in this wax room today. I love this scent. This was first released in the fall winter catalog this last year. This is a woody masculine cologne scent. It smells very upscale to me. It's very home decor store. It's gorgeous. Great performer. Love this bar. Perfect for a bedroom or even for an open concept. I think it's like a woody enough fragrance that I would put that throughout my open concept. And then a Vanilla Suede. Melting this one in my bedroom. I talked about this not too long ago, how I had melted my first one in the kitchen, wasn't the biggest fan of it, or just I felt like I couldn't really smell it. Then I melted my second one in the bedroom and was like, oh, that's the space it needs to be in. It's such a nice cologne fragrance. You get a little bit of suede, a little bit of like a leather note. So I would say like a bedroom, an office, a library, those spaces, this bar is perfect for. And I'm loving it in the bedroom right now. So I have only one more bar of this. It's okay. I've got plenty of other wax for sure, but I will definitely maybe hoard the last one a little bit and enjoy that again in the bedroom. Okay, and then the last Scentsy I'm actually going to use as my vendor transition here. And we're going to talk about Scentsy and K's at the same time because I did these together. I wanted a dirt day. You guys know I love dirt and earthy type scents. So I had gotten this Morning Herb Garden from Scentsy, which is from one of the monthly edits, maybe the May one. This is basil, white florals, and cedarwood. This smells a lot like tomato vine to me, which is coming out in July, which I'm very excited to get my hands on a few more tomato vine bars. But it's that very earthy green. I definitely get some of the basil, tomato vine-esque type of scent. This is very garden, summer vegetable. That's what this smells like to me. I love that scent. Natalie loves that scent. Not everybody's going to love it, but I paired it with my K's Scented Melts in the garden. So this is Vine Ripe Tomato, Dirt, Garden Mint, and Cucumber. So I think this one going in the kitchen, and then Morning Herb Garden going in the living room. I mean, both of these. The In the Garden from Kay's has more of a dirt note that the Scentsy one doesn't. Oh my gosh, if you like a green scent, if you like a dirt scent, very earthy, tomato vine, garden vegetable, if you enjoy that scent profile, any of these on its own, either of these were amazing, but I loved that combination. This went for 2 days. Anytime I do a dirt blend in my home, it will last. The scent just throws so long. Loved that. Highly, highly recommend. So now we're into Kay's. I decided to focus on Kay's a little bit this week, just in an effort to use up my summer appropriate Kay's wax. Most of my Kay's collection is fall and winter, and I wanted just to enjoy what I have for the summer and not let it go another summer. So I'm trying to do that with some vendors, kind of go through and curate the seasonally appropriate wax and melt it right now. And then I've got no more summer Kay's wax. I can enjoy my fall and winter, and then we'll see where I'm at after, that season, if I'm ready to purchase some more. So the last spring, summer type blends I had from Kay's, I had one more clam in Glacier Mist, which if I remember right, this is Sterling's blend. This is Mountain Rain, Frozen Lake, and Lavender Sea. This is gorgeous. This is a very aquatic, fresh scent, very body wash, some green. Love this one. This is one that I have repurchased a few times, so really enjoy that, especially for like a bedroom, bathroom. Then I melted two of one of Natalie's creations, Seaside Bakery. And I think her inspiration for this was a couple things. I think the name was just because of her living at the Jersey Shore, but I think the scent is supposed to be similar to a Farmer's Daughter blend, if I remember correctly. Zucchini bread, blue sugar, and wood sage and sea salt. I think this is the first time I've ever had anything Joe Malone, wood sage and sea salt. And this is gorgeous. I feel like you really get the blue sugar and you get the zucchini bread. 10 out of 10. So pretty. And the day that I was warming this, I had a clam in this room and a clam in my bedroom, and I could get the scent, that zucchini bread, that like super rich, dense, sweet zucchini bread. That scent was drifting down the hallway. And so if I was even close to the hallway, I was smelling the back bedrooms, which I love when that happens. It's such a pretty scent. Absolutely not now. I do not need to make a Kay's order. Absolutely something in the future I will get. And one thing I love about Kay's is that she's open, pretty much 24/7. So I don't feel the stress to go on there right this moment and order more, especially because, it's going to be out of season here soon. And then I'll be ready to order again, maybe in the spring. And then the last two from Kay's, two of tea and cakes. Talked about tea and cakes quite a bit on this channel. I love Carla's tea and cakes. Oh gosh, it is so pretty. If you had the Mad Tea Party or whatever it's called from Knoll's, similar scent. This is white cake, orange, almond, and black tea. Very strong, very fruity. I feel like you get a lot of the almond. Great performer. I am obsessed with this. And this is just, I assume, a single oil, but you can make whatever tea and cakes custom blend that you want with, in a K-cut or whatever she calls them. Yeah, I really love her tea and cakes a ton. Let's do a couple of one-offs. I wanted to do Kay's because it kind of connected to Scentsy, but I have two vendors that I only melted one item from. From Scoopable Tart Wax, Natalie gifted this to me. This was a scoop in You Need to Calm Down. So this is vanilla lace type sweet lavender and cotton candy frosting. I can't believe you sent this to me, Nat, because this smells amazing. What a beautiful, really sweet lavender. Perfect for the bedrooms. I feel like their scoops were a good size. Like I was able to do quite a bit of warmers with this size scoop and great performance. Fortunately, Scoopable Tart Wax is no longer in business, but I have a few more of her scoops. I've got a couple Campfire Marshmallow. I've got some Cake by the Ocean, which we'll actually talk about Cake by the Ocean here in a minute, but I will enjoy what I have from her. But yeah, thank you, Natalie, for that. And then from Lavender and Speckles, I melted a classic. This is Pine Cones and Beach Marshmallow. You all know how much I love her roasted pine cone oil. It is the best in the business. There's nobody's roasted pine cone I like more than Beth's. This is roasted pine cone, vanilla birch, marshmallows, vanilla, sea salt, driftwood, and a hint of s'mores. So it's their version of Bath & Body Works Beach Nights. Oh my gosh. Love, love, love. If you've had her roasted pine cones, you know it's kind of like a little bit smoky, but it's also very smooth. It's not a sharp tree scent at all. Blended with the beach marshmallow gives it just like a nice vanilla creaminess. I don't even know how to describe her roasted pine cone. I'm just telling you, you need to try it. If you have not had her pine cone oil, please try it. If she ever does the roasted pine cone sampler again, I've gone through 3 of those alone. I love her roasted pine cone sampler. That would be a great way to try some of her blends, but absolutely would get this again. I have a lot of Lavender and Speckles. Actually, I need to do a Lavender and Speckles focused week here soon. A roasted pine cone is something I will always, without a doubt, have in my collection. Okay, then I went through a couple of Sassy Girl. I have just a sample in North Pole cookies. This was just a peppermint bakery little sample. And this was really good. I like mint and I like minty bakery, so really pretty, good performer. I put this in the 3rd bedroom just because that door stays closed most of the time. I only have one warmer. And so I found this as I was rearranging some wax and I was like, oh, let me throw that in the 3rd bedroom and see how it does. Really, really pretty. So not in season, but I was able to get through that. Then a bar of Glacier. And Glacier is peppermint, sugar, and light butter. This is just a really nice kind of buttermint scent. It had a lot of sweetness to it. Maybe a little hint of like pink sugar too. But if you want a really bright, sweet peppermint, and I know peppermint, you know, this might seem very winter, but I melt scents like this any time of year because to me, especially back in the bedrooms, it's very calming and soothing. They're good nighttime blends. I love a lavender, I love a peppermint, anything like that for the bedrooms, especially in the evenings. I really enjoy it, so I'll melt peppermint all year long. And peppermint is nice if you've never melted peppermint in the summer. Peppermint is really nice when it's this hot out. We've had, I don't think you're seeing this until like late June, but today is the 11th that I'm filming this. And we've had a couple of 100-degree days already where the temperature isn't 100, but the heat index is like 107 or something. I'm like, it is way too early in the summer for us to be getting that hot. But in any case, it is nice to have like a really crisp, cooling scent on the inside of your home when it's so hot and sticky and muggy outside. Okay, and then last from Sassy Girl, I melted one of my favorite summer scents from her. This is Going to Waltz. This has been renamed over the years. It used to be her like Disneyland scent. Pineapple, orange, strawberries, cotton candy, lemonade, and whipped cream. This is just fruity perfection. And I can't say I'm an overly fruity fan, but scents like this in the summer when it's hot, those bright, just a little bit citrusy fruit scents, kind of makes you think of a popsicle, makes you think of summertime, exactly the type of scent I want to melt in these hot summer days. And it's gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Through Like a Champ, I mean, this is one of her newer brittles. I don't think she's got the pour date on here. So I would say this is probably a year, maybe a year and a half old, but Through Like a Champ, I put this throughout the entire house. A brittle from hers, especially if I only do 2 pieces in a warmer, can stretch pretty much the entire house for me. So that was perfect, and absolutely something I will get again in the future. I am not buying from Sassy Girl right now. I'm trying to only stick to my couple of little vendors that I'm buying from as I'm working to reduce my collection. However, absolutely something I will get again in the future. And then last I have Rose Girls. Went through a couple of my summer Rose Girl scents as well. First is Cake by the Ocean. This is a mini melter bag. This is one of my standout, tried and true, absolute favorite Rose Girls fragrances. I honestly, anything Cake by the Ocean normally is a scent I really like because it's beach nights, it's salty sea air, it's got maybe some fruit notes. There's a scent from the Melted Mousse that I absolutely love called Cake by the Ocean. So if something is titled Cake by the Ocean, normally I'm at least very intrigued by it. But this one is Florida Key Lime Pie, Strawberry Pound Cake, and Birthday Cake. I loved this because the key lime is not overly sharp. I've talked about this a ton, but I like the key lime pie that is bakery heavy and not too tart or astringent. I love strawberry pound cake, and then you get the birthday cake. This was amazing. One of my favorite scents. However, this particular bag, I got really nothing from it. Now, this is old. I would say this is probably 3 or 4 years old. I mean, you can kind of see that the label is discolored compared to sneak peek. I'm doing Salty Sea Air next. The label is definitely a little discolored. I mean, this one is too a little bit, but not as bad as Cake by the Ocean. So this very well could have been me letting it sit way too long. So did not get good performance from this particular bag. However, this is a scent I have had many bags of, absolutely love. And I do have a couple scoops, like I mentioned, from Scoopable left in this fragrance. So I hope that those perform better. And then a Salty Sea Air. So this one's just a little over 2 years old. It looks like I did date this one. I loved this so much. So I actually, you see me changing the wax in my reset vlog. Is that vlog up yet or not? Can't remember when I have everything scheduled, but if my weekend reset vlog is up, you actually see me changing the wax in my kitchen to Salty Sea Air. So one day I meal prepped, and the scent in the kitchen that I put in, I couldn't smell it anymore because I had been cooking food, you know. So I went and changed it to Salty Sea Air throughout my whole open concept. I mean, I love Salty Sea Air so much. It's definitely one of my top favorite scents ever. I could melt Salty Sea Air once a week and not get tired of it. And this was such a good one. Just atmospheric. You get some of the salt, you get that aquatic air. I love it. Absolutely, we'll get this one again in the future. But Rose Girls is also on my no-buy list at the moment while I work through some wax. Yeah, that's everything that I finished this week home fragrance-wise. I really hope that you all enjoyed. I hope that you have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you next Saturday for another Empties. Bye.